Hi. Oh,
I have to raise my camera up as well. Hold on for a
oh
second.
no. I had a boomer moment. There we go.
We're all doing it. Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Lauren Buglioli. Thank you so much for hopping on here.
The way you just said my name, I'm gonna pass out at the beginning of our live.
At the end, it's over.
It's over and it's a wrap. That's not common that someone just comes in and says Boyoli like that. So thank you so much. Appreciate
Well,
it.
it's on your profile, and so I
Thank you.
was like, I need to know how to say it right. If you want to raise
Thank
your
you.
camera up just a little bit
Yes.
more,
Thank you.
of course, yeah.
Great. It's not like I'm in the entertainment industry or anything. I should know how to get the shot,
You know,
Cornelius.
you're on camera. You're not
Right.
behind the
We're
scenes.
here. We're here.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right. Don't give me any tech assignments. Okay, there we go. How are
perfect.
you?
I am doing well. I'm on vacation in Southwest Michigan, so this is why I have the
Amazing.
serene setting behind me.
Great.
My partner Kevin, his family, they have had a home in this area for like since the 30s. It's kind of crazy.
Amazing.
So it's not this home, obviously, but there's like a
Mm.
cottage down the street that was his great grandmother's sister's. So yeah, like they've been coming out here for years. So it's just
How
so cool to
nice.
get in with a family that has something like this.
That's amazing. And if you two don't have those photos of you and your chaps framed immediately, I'm not talking to you again.
We're
We're
gonna
going to
do
be in a
that.
fight.
We're gonna do
So
that, and I will
good.
take a picture, and it's gonna be in our house. We have like
Great.
whenever you walk in, there's like some pictures of us, and so we've been meaning
Great.
to update them. Beyonce, like I'm so tempted to book a
Ugh,
flight to Atlanta this
you
weekend
should do it.
and just come down there. Like she really is the greatest artist of our generation. Like
Truly. Truly.
there is no one else because if you think about it, and you and I, we're of the same. We're both millennials, right?
Hmm.
Her peers are not Dua Peep. I call her Dua Peep because of Wendy Williams. Her peers are not Dua Lipa. They're not Taylor Swift. Her peers are Maya and
Mm,
Brandy and
mm,
Monica and TLC. I mean, I think people now who weren't around back then and can't remember, she was out with them. And the
hmm.
way she's been able to transcend and go through all these generations is just amazing. And really, without any controversy, I mean, yeah, they got rid of two members in the beginning, but even they have come back into the fold. And yeah,
Hmm.
Solange
Hmm.
gave Jay-Z the business, which I think he deserved it. But like even that was made into, of course, some shit's gonna go down whenever there's $1 billion on an elevator.
That's
Like
right.
she really
That's
has
right.
been able to just stay afloat and then raising the bar every single time. It just
Hmm.
I saw her for Renaissance and I saw her for this one. And at Renaissance I thought, okay, this is it. Like there is no
Hmm.
way she's going to top this.
Yep.
And then she did.
I like to joke that I'm recreationally petty, and when people say they have haters, I'll say, remember that Beyonce has haters. So not everyone has good taste, you
Exactly.
know? Not
Yeah.
everyone can be helped. So that's my recreationally petty moment for the day. So you're preaching to the choir.
Are you going to go to the concert or one other?
So I've been waiting because I haven't known what my work schedule or workload will be, and I should just, go ahead and let you know now that I'm a huge nerd. So I just had to plan accordingly. So I'm kind of waiting for last minute tickets. But I am going to a Beyonce drag brunch on Saturday, which I'm living for.
Of course, it's Atlanta.
I
Atlanta. I'm so
can't wait.
excited because I'll be in Atlanta in September for the Gay Journalist Conference. I'm so
Amazing.
excited to go down there, like because it is. I'm really tempted to move down there, but I got to pull
It's
this
great.
guy. I got to pull this guy off
Come
of
on,
the West
Kevin.
Coast where
What?
he's been for the last 14 years. So
Oh,
it
wow.
is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he's
I'll
from the
talk to Kevin
Midwest.
later. Yeah.
Yes, you message
Mm-hmm.
him and say move to
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta
I'll say,
or
pack your
Chicago,
chaps. Get here now.
so we're
We have,
closer.
yeah, it's
Okay,
a great place to live. It really is.
and so you moved down there because you got cast on the show.
So I actually moved here I was in New York for 10 years. I moved to Florida for a bit to be closer to family and do some theater for a couple years. And then I moved here now 8 years ago in June.
Okay,
So I saw what was happening in the industry, and my family, my mom and brothers are from here. I
Mhm.
was kind of raised all over. We just moved a lot for my dad's job, but I've been here 8 years now and I love it.
So
So.
you're not like a Jen who booked the show and said, "Oh, I've got to move my life all down here."
No, but we actually have the same agent in New York, and
Wow.
we our paths kept crossing, and we were hoping to meet each other. We were kind of connected on Instagram, and then booked the show together, and have been really excited about that. So,
So before we get into the show, talk to me about your career because you brought up that you moved down to Florida, and I saw an
hmm
Instagram post, and you were in
hmm
New York for a decade, working,
hmm
trying to make it. So, like, tell me about your career and the
Whew,
trajectory, and then how you got here. And please
yeah.
mention the Clifton story that you posted about.
Mm. So I was born in LA, and when you're born in LA, you get into the entertainment industry when you're a zygote. So my mom, bless her, started me in the business when I was 6 months old, and did commercials, and my mom helped me save up for college. So I was very, very, very grateful for that as an adult. And she was great. She always said, if it's not fun, we'll stop. So we lived in LA till I was 4, then moved to Florida before moving to London, and I did commercials in Florida. And then moved to London, went to the American school there, and worked professionally in middle school and high school, and then moved to New York at 18. Screen tested for a contract role on Guiding Light. It came down between me and another girl. So there's this kind of almost moment, and then ended up, going to school, trying to make it in New York. And New York was tough. New York was really tough, and it also helped me grow a lot. And looking back now, I'm like, it's exactly what it was supposed to be. And I also love teaching, so I taught in New York. I have a loved one with Down syndrome, so I was a special education teacher for a while. And I think, when I was younger, I had the fear of, gosh, I need health insurance, I need a steady paycheck. So I had to kind of overcome my fear of being in the entertainment industry and the uncertainty of it all. And was in New York 10 years, went back out to LA for a year, and then thought, okay, I'm very tired. New York takes a lot out of you, and moved to LA moved back to Florida when and did some theater, was teaching preschool there, and saw what was happening in Atlanta. And I thought, I'll give it a year. I'll just see what happens after a year. And it changed my life. So it's been a great move. So,
And you've been on, and I want to touch on a few things. You said you had what syndrome?
um, what did I say?
You said I had something syndrome, so I was always worried about having a paycheck, or not a
Oh,
paycheck, but health care.
Um, I think, I don't know what syndrome I said I had. I'll have to play that back. But I think
Okay.
I got scared. I think I just, with the entertainment industry being uncertain, I was a kid that worried a lot, and in my early 20s had health issues, and thought,
Okay.
I need health care, I need a steady paycheck, and I had to kind of overcome that fear of uncertainty.
Mhm.
Which that's like a day-to-day thing. That's just part of being alive, but no one told me
That is
that.
a part of being alive and not being the top 1%. Um, right.
He
Speaking
just gently
of,
cries on our Instagram live.
right. Speaking of Mr. Clifton Davis, you sang the song that he wrote. Okay, so can I just say these boomers, and God love them, but they could just write a song and run into a recording studio and say, "Hey, I I have a song that the Jackson 5 can sing." That's kind of how he told the story. But so you
I
tell the
think he
story.
is very humble. I will just say that man is wildly
Oh,
talented and so
musical
humble and so
genius,
kind. He's just perfect. He's
musical
just a,
genius.
a international treasure. So I was watching the Entertainment Tonight special before the show aired, and I saw Clifton casually talking about how he wrote Never Can Say Goodbye for the Jackson 5,
He
as
just
one
wrote it.
does, just casual, just
Just
in his
wrote it.
free time, in between being a star. Um, uh, I was in a musical called Disaster when I was in Florida before moving to Atlanta, where I played a nun with a gambling addiction. You can't write this stuff. If you know, you know. Doug. I played a character named Sister Mary, and her big song was Never Can Say Goodbye. So there are just all these wild synchronicities with the show, like Jen and I being with the same agent, Clifton writing that song. All of us, I think, feel this kind of magic of being a part of this moment and this show that is very corny, but it is what it is. We were all very grateful to be there, and all these synchronicities. I think we're all just pinching ourselves. So when you have moments like that, and I said to Clifton, I sang your song in this show, and he got so excited. I'm like, don't make me cry, Clifton. He's an angel. Everyone, and that's so it's funny. Some of my friends are like, how's Haley? How's Bill in real life? I'm like, everyone is the nicest human being you've ever met, and no one can tell a dad joke like Tree, like Timon. No one. And I'm like, you would never see it coming from Bill, But acting,
Right,
acting.
exactly. Different people on and off. And so we're going to talk about the show. I feel like we talked about so much. But
I'm a
Mike,
yapper.
Mike, so am I. Obviously, I have done some 15-minute reviews. They don't get a lot of views. People just want quickly, boom, boom, boom. But Mike was saying you are so different from Vanessa, but he loves seeing you slip into this role and show this side of this character that's unlike you. So I guess my first like huge big question is how does it feel to be a part of this soap opera and play such a someone commented one of the most nuanced characters on this show?
Thank you. I just want to shout out to Michelle Valjean and our writers. I mean, the material they give us is incredible. So, I joke that the hardest part of this job is waiting for the next script to drop because they're like, what's next? What's coming? So in terms of nuance, the material they give us, these characters are amazing and they give us so much to work with. I think I love Mike so much, and that was so kind of him to say because she's a tricky lady, but our job is bringing their humanity and stewarding them and kind of being protective over them. So it's funny, we see stuff on the internet. People big mad about her behavior, but people are complex and they're in pain, and people find different ways to have their needs met and to feel love, whether that's successful or not. I love playing her because I think um, in order to really honor her and her human experience, you have to justify every decision and fully buy into it. So I think um, from the jump, when I saw the breakdown, when I got the audition, I was like, let me at her. Like, that's who I'd love to play for 20 seasons. So I think really just honoring her humanity is what, and the directors and the whole team really trust us. That's one of the gifts of soaps is, you're expected to show up ready to go and having made choices and, you hopefully get it and we move on. So I think the theater kid in me loves the job so much because you're with this incredible ensemble of actors, and it feels like being in a very long play, and you get to bring your choices and you get to build this character, and there's so much to be said for that. Like I keep saying, this is what you dream about as an actor, to be trusted like that. So thank you to whoever said that. But I think it's funny. I find myself a little protective over her when people judge her. I'm like, you don't know her whole story, and if she's in pain, and there. It's also fascinating to see how uh, people process a highly sexual woman. It's just interesting. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
I think that society doesn't like to see women take control of their sexuality, right? They like women to be docile and in the kitchen and truly barefoot and pregnant. Some people do. And I think that, yeah, like in daytime television, whenever we have a woman, like, and I only watched Days of Our Lives growing up. And, Sammy was the only one who was kind of like that. And she was a very controversial figure in the 90s and in the 2000s. I remember the soap guide issues on the stand saying, what will Sammy do next? But yeah, people don't like women taking control of who they are.
yep.
And it does put you in an interesting spot because like you said, you're so protective over this character.
And I keep telling myself, if we're making you feel anything, we're doing our job, you
Mhm.
know? And I think you also have to let the audience have the experience they're committed to having, you know? You can pour nuance into a character, right? And dig deep and find their pain and want them to be a fully fleshed out human. And someone can just be like, no, she a hoe,
She's
and
a
that's
hoe.
okay too. That's
That
okay too. Like, let a
right.
hoe be a hoe if that's what But also, I am so grateful. Like her arc thus far, like her begging Doug for honesty, her like really, one of my favorite scenes to, I just uh, love working with him so much. But Jason and I were rehearsing before we did this scene. I loved whoever said, oh, the surprise of the season was Vanessa having sex with her husband. But getting then when he leaves, her calling an escort service, like however people interpret that, they interpret that. But the way she wanted him to stay, the way she wants to go back to what they had, but life is tricky, So I I'm loving being a part of the world and getting to play a character that's complex like this. It's what you dream about as an actor. So I'm just very grateful to the writers and to Michelle and Sheila and for letting us sink our teeth into this kind of material. It's so much fun. It's so much
And
fun.
I think the show is doing so well because it is so realistic, right?
Mm,
Like, because I can think in my life of several women who are like Vanessa,
mm,
who, they took control of their sexuality and who they wanted to be with and how they wanted to be with that person. And I can remember, I mean, I'm thinking back to college now, and people would call them hoes and sluts. And
mm,
it's like, no, because the guys are doing the same thing, right? And they're not being called anything. And so, yeah, I think, yeah, the show really paints an accurate picture of how there are different people like that in our society, and everyone needs to be represented, right?
And people have all kinds of addictions, and people get their needs met in different ways. And it's just, I think, what I love about soaps is they get to deep dive into the human experience and so many things that we don't get to see over 8 episodes of something, right?
Mhm.
So that's been fascinating. And yeah, it's just, it's fun seeing the audience process it.
Mhm.
I have learned to stay off Facebook, but X is really fun. And it's funny because this is my first time in the soap world.
Mhm.
So, getting to see, like, I love a meme. I live for a meme. It's a love language of mine. But seeing people process, it's been really fascinating. And I'm like, what a great thing that this story is making them feel enough to go on the internet and engage and get excited about it. Like that's everything as an artist that you want. You just want people to feel something. So whether you call her a garden tool or she's your fictional bestie, I'm here for it.
I love the line about being unfaithful, not disloyal. Like, that's just like, yes. And it was like a few words, but it just kind of encapsulates her whole character. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's loyal to Doug,
Mm-hmm.
but unfaithful in the sense that yes, she's sleeping with other people, but like it just shows you that there's so much love between them two, and she would never
Mm-hmm.
do anything that would physically or mentally hurt him in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's that love. When your needs aren't met will make you act out in wild ways, right?
Mhm.
When you've had something and then lost it, how you'll seek the feeling you had with a person. And also I think just really seeing how smart she is, and I'm so excited for her path to cross with other characters.
Mhm.
I film into like the 160s this week, and I've gotten to cross paths with other characters, and every time it happens I get so excited, just to see what all the dynamics are like amongst all these characters. So I'm excited for everyone to see the rest of the season. It's the writing's incredible, and we've just all been having so much fun. So I'm glad, and thank you for all your support. Like your
Oh,
passion,
of
like it
course.
lights me up. Seeing, listening to the podcasts and seeing reviews and stuff. It means so much to us that you guys are supportive.
Yeah, I think we're invested. For so many of us, and I said this in the first video I made, like our grandmothers, our moms, our
Mm,
aunties grew up watching these soap operas, and now we have a soap opera we can call our own. So I think that's why
yes.
so many of us are doing things like this, right? It's kind of a love, a love, an homage to our loved ones
Mm,
who perhaps didn't get to see themselves portrayed so much in soap operas.
mm, it's
Yeah.
incredible. We're all just very grateful. We're pinching ourselves to get to be a part of it. So thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So you don't have to comment. What I really want to see are the twins come back from college because here's what I think happened with Doug and Vanessa, right? Don't comment, don't say anything. Michelle's watching, always watching. I think they had a great relationship, and then you have kids, and then you become what are the twins' names? Or do they have names? Do we know?
Donnell and Deanna.
Tonnelle and Deanna. Okay,
Donnell, yep.
Donnell
Hmm.
and Deanna. Oh my gosh, that's so
Hmm.
cute.
Hmm. I
So
know.
you have Donnell and Deanna, and then you are Donnell and Deanna's parents, right?
Hmm.
For 18 years.
Hmm.
And then they go off to college, and then you're looking at this person like, who are you? Like, do I know you anymore? And so I think,
Hmm.
for in my opinion, I think that would be the most natural way to explain this is why they broke up. Because again, I feel like the show is so grounded in reality, and that is a thing that couples go through. Like they meet, they become parents, 18 years later, 20 years
Hmm.
later, they're like, I don't know this person and I don't want to be with this person and I'm 50 years old and I have to go. So
Hmm.
that's what I think happened. You don't have to comment on it because I know we're going to see down the road, but I'm excited to meet
Hmm.
the twins who are off in college and excited to see like their storylines because we're invested in Doug and Vanessa's family and the backstory and all that
Hmm.
stuff. Yes, yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
excited. Yeah.
And I will just say it again, it's so interesting when you're in it, but it's good. Like what's coming is so good. It's
Yes.
just I'm so excited for everybody to see it. So yes, I'm excited that you're excited and I it will not disappoint. It's
Okay.
there's some big stuff coming. You know, we love a soap. Lots of drama coming. And yeah, it's just again the I keep saying it's like a very long play and then when you see more and more revealed because you as an actor do your backstory you do your homework to build out the world so that you know because when we started we only had so many episodes but then you know to see what unfolds is really amazing.
For you, what has been your favorite storyline that doesn't involve you?
Oof. The anniversary party really ripped my heart out. Yeah, and just you know again I am fangirling over everyone all the time, but watching Amber and Trisha together has been, you know, I just, and
Yeah.
I heard like I'd be in hair and makeup and they're like, oh, wait till you see the anniversary party. And seeing Daphne's work and see, you know, and then also I remember when we filmed the wedding. I said to Carla after, like, seeing you work for hours and hours and hours and have an incredible attitude and bring it every time and be on, like, it's a different. When I tell you I'm not a sports girly and I've started watching sports documentaries because I'm trying to have like the mind of an athlete, like it's a marathon, you know, and seeing someone with that stamina, like Carla, like everyone just sets the bar so high, and I will say again, it's corny, but I go to work inspired. And when I have a day off like today, I feel like I miss my friends and I want to go back to work. And it's just a special thing, you know. And I think um, to be around other actors who really inspire you to keep leveling up is so exciting. And to, I mean, when I found out I was working with John Lindstrom, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, casual, absolutely, absolutely,
Right. Exactly.
fine. I'll joke that like my best work as an actor to date is pretending to be remotely cool on this show, you know,
Mm.
like to
Mhm.
it's not great. I'm not doing a great job at covering. But yes, to Mike's point, I'm very different than my character. So,
You know, you were one of the only main characters not at the wedding or the anniversary party. So
mhm.
you get your script, and I'm sure you don't like read anything else. So when did you find out that was that like the big reveal was going to happen at the anniversary party?
I read it and I think it's so funny because I'll say whenever I go to text someone in the cast, I accidentally always get text their character first, and I'm like, oh, absolutely. Ariel's name is actually not Naomi. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Great. Ronnie Rose is not okay. Absolutely.
Not Chelsea. Okay.
Not Chelsea. Fine. Yep. I know how to human. But you get protective over the characters. You get and when I was like, oh, the way that Vanessa is going to go after Leslie after this, like sleep with one eye open, you know? So I think it's interesting as a cast member reading it and finding yourself having an emotional reaction. I hope people are screaming at their TVs, you know?
Mhm.
Again, it means we're all as a cast and crew and team doing our jobs, and the writers are just giving us so much to work with. So that's been, I think, watching the anniversary episodes and even seeing Martin's storyline play out. It's I'm so excited for everything that's to come. Um, and just in awe of everybody. I mean, you see how much people pour their heart and souls into these characters in these big storylines, and it's amazing. This is what we've always wanted to do, and getting to see my friends crush it is incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the comments, but Two Wrongs and a Right just said, "Love your work, Lauren." Let
Oh, your
me.
check's in the mail. Your check's in
They
the
are
mail. Two
so
wrongs and a
amazing
right.
together. I'm thinking they were talking
Mm-hmm.
about Amber and
Mm-hmm.
Trisha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna see if I've missed any more.
Mm.
I will ride or die with Vanessa. Don't come for my Nessa. She's going to take Joey down or marry him. Who knows? That's all tigers forever.
Big Nessa. I like that. So the funny thing is, I have never gotten acrylics or my nails. Like I am not good at this. So I have started getting Gel X, and as I spend more time in a fictional casino, my nails just get longer and longer.
I
Like
will
it's method.
say, be careful. So I used to get my nails done. I was going through a breakup. Don't know why I decided to do it. I did it for
Live,
like six
live.
months. I then moved to Seattle and I got them like taken off after, and my nails,
Bad.
I could feel them breathe. Like I just felt the air going through them, and I said, "This is
Hmm.
insane." So now I don't do. I won't go back, and if I do, I'll just get press-ons.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you have a loved one with Down syndrome, and so you taught
Hmm.
special ed. That's what I missed that, but
Oh,
someone.
yes, 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 yes,
But
yes. Thank you.
yeah,
Yes.
of course, but someone was really paying attention. Clearly, we're not paying attention.
Yes, I know.
We're just fangirling.
I'm still thinking about how you rocked the chaps and how you're an icon. So how's a girl supposed to focus?
I it's so funny. I got those chaps because I went to the GLAAD Media Awards, and there was this woman wearing chaps, the same exact chaps with like the bra, and I'm like, well, I don't have enough. I don't have the top part for that. Not yet. I'm working out, but
Live.
I can buy the chaps. And so she told me where they were from, and I got them, and I ordered Kevin some, and said
I
we're gonna
love.
go for it. We are gonna go for it. And
Yes.
then I was 10 rows back. I
Mm-hmm.
think if I do decide to do a crazy trip to Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
and go, I probably get like, I want to be in like the front. Oh my gosh, we will stop talking about Beyonce. Stop, stop, stop.
Why?
Okay,
Why?
because people aren't here. These people are they're talking about you and how you're crushing it as Vanessa. They don't want to hear about
Listen,
Beyonce. Um,
listen.
Chaps are a whole vibe. Yes, they
It's
are.
true. I sent you that picture when I used to teach spin and I taught tons of Beyonce classes. And I
Mhm.
did one in a fur coat once. And I'm just so lucky I survived it. I didn't get heat stroke, but I was like, it's for the bit. We're going full out.
And you
No
had the bat.
marking. Yeah, I had the bat. It's like I
Yeah.
just love
Hold
anything for
up.
Beyonce
They don't
themed
love you
run.
like I love you.
No, no, absolutely. So yeah, those are some of my favorite memories of teaching spin,
Yes.
a Beyonce class.
Beyonce. Of course. Are you happy to be in Paris? Anyway, season two, you all have done so well that the
Mm.
big bosses up top said, let's give you a second season. I would like to know, where were you? Because Ronnie Rose was in her dressing room looking at scripts. Mike was called in, I think. So many people have been like, there are so many stories. So where were
Mhm.
you whenever they said, please come to Studio A because we have a meeting?
Yes. So Jen texted me the night before and she's like, "Did you hear about the HR meeting?" I'm like, What? Am I in trouble? What's happening?" And then I was filming the next day. So for people who weren't called in, they said, we've got an HR meeting tomorrow.
Mhm.
So I had just wrapped a couple scenes and we all got ushered over to one space where we were hanging out and talking, and then they moved us over and there was a cake and we were all, and then I I was hoping that that was the news. And the funny thing is, I'm a big crier. Like I'm feeling all the things, and I'm very grateful to be a part of this. So uh, I started getting choked up, and Stevie, who's the head of makeup, and who else? Reese, my incredible makeup artist, were like, "Don't you cry! Look up! Look up! Look up!" So I was processing. I screamed and started processing it, and they were like, "Nope, you've got more scenes to film. Don't you cry! Don't you cry!" So I will say it's funny. It hits me in waves. So I was looking up as to not mess up Reese's incredible work, and then definitely bawled later because it we were all just really praying for season two. And I would do this till I was with a walker, I
Yeah.
love this so much. So yeah, it was a really incredible day. And I think we're all just so excited for what's to come.
Yeah. What would you tell your 18-year-old self
Mm.
making it and trying to make it in New York City about this moment now? What, 20 years later?
That is such an attack. I told you I'm a crier, and then you're gonna ask me that question. Um, I love you for that. That is an emotional. I think saying that it's so hard when you're in something, but it's always exactly what it's supposed to be, you know? I think my younger self wanted it right then. It wanted to know out of fear, wanted to know she was going to be okay. And I think what I tell everyone in this industry, and to be very aware, like a this is a wild moment in the entertainment industry, and I am telling my friends and loved ones who are actors, like, y- holding holding on to faith and knowing that those moments, I say this all the time, but like when you think you're being broken, you're being built, you know? I think the younger version of me just wanted to know it was all going to work out, and seeing that it took the time it took so I could play a character like Vanessa, having lived more. If if I was called to play a character like this when I hadn't really lived, I don't know that I could bring the soul and trauma that she needs, you know? So I think trusting that it's always what it's supposed to be. And that's so hard. I never want to hear that when I'm in it, when you're going through it. You just want relief. But I think seeing anything that anyone likes about me came from my darkest moments. And it, especially as an artist, you're always dumping your heart and soul into characters. So reminding yourself that you're going to be called to play the roles that you're meant to play, you know? And surround yourself with good people who lift you up in those moments. I think, yeah, I'll stop yapping.
It's okay. No, that was a big loaded question because yeah,
Mm,
like I will share something a little personal. I had a friend
please.
of mine about 2 years ago. She and her wife were looking for a sperm donor, right? I didn't
Mm,
know them then, and but then after I met them, and she was just like, "You ought to do it. You ought to like sign up." And I'm like, "I don't know, like that just
mm,
feels like, ugh." But I did it, and like one of the last questions was, what do you want to say to the people who received this, your recipient of your donation? I just
mm,
burst into tears
mm,
because the questions had been benign, like, what's your favorite scary movie? And I'm like, well, I like Halloween and I like Hereditary and I like Candyman and Tony Collette and Tony Todd. Don't get. I was just like going on, and then the last question, what would you say to them? And I started thinking about like my younger self, and yeah, I just
mm.
burst into tears. And so I think yeah, that was a loaded question because it's
No,
so
I love
like
it.
like 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 you think about your younger self, and like you said something that is so powerful. Like you feel like you're being broken down, but you're being built up.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
So
I'm
all
not
all
good at
those
talking about the weather.
yeah, all
It's like
those
that's the stuff that like I think connects us and I, why I think soaps are so powerful. The number of people who've been like, man, that breakup scene, those words that Nicole said, I said those words to my ex-husband. I mean, again, it's part of you when you're uncomfortable, you don't want to live through those moments. But it's like you don't know joy without deep pain. You don't know, and we want everyone to have as little pain as possible and to be fully realized, happy, healthy human beings. But I think yeah, reminding ourselves that that shared human experience is what makes us tune into shows like this.
Yeah.
Because there's something cathartic about it. I made a joke about slapping men the other day on my
Yeah.
Instagram, but let me tell you, it's so fun. And they're very nice men, so they're
Yeah.
not, I hate
Yeah.
to even pretend to slap them, but I've enjoyed it, you know.
They're stand-ins, for all the men you should have slapped and more. Yes. I'm right
Sorry.
there with you. Though actually, no, there aren't that many in my life. I,
Good,
you
you're
know,
blessed.
well, I
Yeah.
wasn't I wasn't settling down. I was young, wild, and free for a little bit.
Living,
I was I,
yes.
I was living, traveling the country, different cities, spending 2 years there, being a journalist. Yeah, I was living.
Good.
I was living.
Yes. I love
Yes.
that. I
So
love that.
so not a
Um,
lot of men to slap because I didn't get enough time to get to know
Great.
them.
Memories. Memories.
Memories,
Wait.
that's what we'll say. That's
Mm-hmm.
memories that I and experiences that I bring to my current relationship, and it's all good. It's all good.
Yes. Yes.
Um, whenever I was talking to Mike, he talked about the reception that you all are getting in Atlanta. So, what's it been
Mm.
like for you? Like, not someone who just moved there, but someone who you've been working there, doing shows. You were in some Tyler Perry shows, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you've been working in Atlanta for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it been now for you to go out in public and someone say, "Hey, Vanessa, I have a bone to pick with you," or "Oh my gosh, I love you on the show."
So it's the first time I've ever been recognized. And people are so kind, and it's so heartwarming. It's funny, my one of my family members was asking me the other day. She said, does it bother you when people say hi? And I'm like, no, I hope they always do, because again, when we're not on set, we're studying lines, we're like nerding out over these scripts and preparing to go give it our all. So when someone lights up talking about the show, for me at least, I am over the moon. Like, the nerdiest thing about me, the first time I was recognized, I asked if I could take a photo with the woman who recognized me and her amazing son, who now has since found me on Instagram. So he's tagged in the photo. I was like, oh, the internet is working. Um, but it was such a exciting moment to see someone who finds joy, and especially in this moment in time, let's find all the joy we can. It's amazing escapism. It's if it's bringing people joy, I want to know about it. So it really makes me happy. I was walking through TSA the other day, and she's like, "How do I know you?" And then she clocked it, and I was like, "Can I hug you?" Okay, bye. So I'm sorry if we meet in person. I'm a hugger. Just make it weird. But yeah, it's really meaningful to see, that people are watching, and it's because of everyone's support that we've got a season two, and support of CBS and Paramount. So we're all just grateful. But no one has said. It's funny. Someone saw me the other day and said, "Don't worry, you're a good person." I went, "Oh, thank you, thank you,"
Yes,
because she's a
I'm
tricky
also an
lady.
actor.
But it was so sweet. I was like, "Oh, you must know I'm a former preschool teacher, and I needed to hear that."
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's really meaningful. And yeah, hopefully our paths will cross sooner than later.
If I fly down for Beyonce this
Hmm.
weekend, our paths
You let
might
me know.
cross. Definitely, whenever I'm there in September, our paths will cross, and I'm gonna
Yes.
send some. This is me sending an email because I'm old, as opposed to as opposed to
Hmm.
using my
No,
phone. But
I always I always make a phone call
I'll send some emails
instead
and
of
be
this.
like, "Look, I need to do one of my recaps on the set. Like, just clear the set for the day. Clear it for the day
Mm.
for me.
Love. I
Just clear
love.
RPGs, and I'll just walk around and do
Come
it,
on.
and I won't tell anything because
That'd be so fun.
I want to still keep doing this, and that's one thing I don't do. I don't like read the soap weekly spoilers because I know
Hmm.
it's like I don't want to be spoiled. Like I want to think that Martin is actually seeing Kenny inside of his house, right? I don't want to know it's another hallucination until we see, oh, it's some random white dude who kind of looks like Kenny in their house, and Martin is still hallucinating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't read the spoilers, but
Yeah.
I am excited, and you mentioned this earlier. I'm excited to see you interact with more people because really we've just had you with Doug, Joey, but like seeing you with Shanice, Ernestine, like that was good. Seeing you with Mike, that was good. I mean, I think you two have had like maybe a scene or two together, like, and you're walking in as he's walking out awkwardly, right? Um, yeah, like, but I'm excited to see more of that and that the world building, like we're pushing you outside of your core group to get you to interact with Mona. Like I would love
Mm-hmm.
to see you and Mona together. Like so I'm just excited, and I hope down the road, everyone is doing everything and your kids are back from college, they graduated, and we have them in the mix. And so and we'll be on for 60 seasons, and we'll be gone after
And I'll
that.
be
But
in my walker. I'll be in my walker at the country club, heading to the closet with who knows who.
yeah. Can you see the comments? Because if not, I'll read off
Yeah.
some of them.
Oh, thank you. I
Um,
just looked. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad it's brought you joy, Alan. Oh, sorry. My
yeah,
voice got very high. I'm so glad it's brought you joy, Alan.
you're fine.
This makes me so happy. I get very excited. Oh, thank you, Silver. Oh, these are so sweet. Thank you.
They really are, yes. Let's see. I feel like I saw a question, but I feel like you've answered all my questions. I just love watching you on the show, and
Thank you.
I'm so excited that it's just like you have worked so hard to get here. And I know as an artist, you feel like you got to keep on creating and doing more, but I hope you're taking time to just bask in all of this.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Um, I'm making myself pause to take it in, because I think it's human nature to, I'm admittedly, um, an intense girly, and I'm always like, okay, what am I memorizing next? What am I working on? And I think stopping to take it in, and like I love watching episodes and celebrating other people's work and seeing, see all the hard work pay off. So thank you. I'm practicing pausing more and processing, taking it all in. So
Yeah. Well, someone just asked, is there anyone from another daytime soap opera you'd like to see crossover and work with?
everybody, that's everybody. Vanessa
Let's
wants
just
to be
bring
friends with everyone.
Nikki and Victor and all. Let's just bring them to Fairmont Crest. Let's
Hmm.
just bring them all to the country club.
Yes, the more the merrier. The more the merrier. And I just see this one. What's it like doing scenes with Daphne and Carla? I joke that I've been auditioning to be Daphne's best friend in real life from day one. Um, and Carla, everybody on set. Um, it's amazing. I feel very, very spoiled that I'm getting to learn from legends and insanely kind and talented people. Like no one comes to set with ego. And I mean, when I first met Daphne, I told her how excited I was to work with her. And she said, "Oh, I'm always learning." And I just like that humility. And I'm like, "You're a legend. I was dancing to your music videos in my bedroom growing up." Like, what? So it just, I think seeing that being a jerk is a choice, apparently, because these are the kindest, most talented, inspiring people. And I think that's part of what makes this experience so magical is that, yes, we get to bring these incredible characters to life and do it with people who, like I said earlier, inspire us to keep raising the bar. Carla's incredible. I met her sweet baby girls who referred to her and her husband as a king and a queen. I was like, they know. They know. I know too. I was like, I'm still not over that. So
Wow.
just, yeah, amazing human beings. And my best friend's husband's really obsessed with the show, and he's like, "But is everybody nice?" I'm like, "I have no tea to spill when it comes to um, anything, but yeah, just fictional drama. Thankfully, like these are wonderful people, so
Yes,
it's
fictional
great.
drama. That's what we
Yeah.
love to hear, nothing
Yes.
else.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
Lauren Buglioli, thank you so much for spending the last nearly 45 minutes with me. It doesn't even feel like 45 minutes. But I know we can keep
No.
talking, but I'm chatting with a couple other people in like 45 more minutes.
Yay.
But I'm so glad you're basking in this time, relaxing a little bit because you kind of remind me of Kevin. You know, you plan everything out and you have I have a Google Calendar now, which is convenient.
Okay.
But
Okay.
before I was just kind of whatever. But as soon as I met him, he said, "So let's sync Google Calendars," and I said, "How do you? What is that? How do you do
That's
that?"
love.
And
That's
we
love right
and we
there.
do that, and it's great. But I know Type A personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Type A personalities, they just need some time to like they have to really think about why they're relaxing and how they're chilling. And so I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad
Thank
that
you.
you have reached this point in your career and I'm so excited that I get to be a small part of helping this show succeed.
Thank you. Thank you. And please tell Kevin I can't wait for you guys to move to Atlanta. So
Okay.
excited about it. And yes, I think that's being type A. That's what makes Vanessa so much fun to play.
Yeah.
Is being, getting to live her experiences. But thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for your time today. Have fun this afternoon. And yeah, thank you so much. It's just so great to meet you. And I hope you do go to Beyonce.
I'll let you know. It's a pleasure
Yeah,
to meet you, Lauren.
keep me posted. Bye.
See ya.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.